This is the Washington Times front page from Monday, December 8th, 2025. Thanks for starting your week with us. I'm George Gerbo. Republicans in Congress have responded to concerns from both parties that the decision to launch a second strike on a capsized boat spotted with 2 survivors could constitute a war crime. Mike Glenn and Bill Gertz, along with Kerry Pickett and Alex Sawyer, report Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton said on NBC's Meet the Press that the September 2nd strike was a legal operation against a boat loaded with narcotics and bound for the United States. Cotton said the military has been ordered to strike such boats, crewed by associates or members of foreign terrorist organizations that are trying to kill Americans. Illinois Democratic Senator Tammy Duckworth accused the Trump administration on CNN's Face the Nation of sanctioning a war crime in the follow-on attack in September that killed 2 survivors of a destroyed vessel. Republican Senators Rand Paul of Kentucky and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska have also been critical of the incident. Trump's campaign against those he says are drug couriers is garnering headlines, but it's also sparking comparisons to President Obama's drone mission to kill people he identified as terrorist targets. Congressional Democrats say the difference is Obama was acting as part of the global war on terrorism under the authorization for the use of military force that was passed in the wake of 9/11. President Trump's Golden Dome czar says he's held one-on-one talks with more than 300 private companies in recent months to hash out the secretive architecture of the missile defense shield. In his first public remarks since being named to the position in June, Guy Taylor reports Space Force General Michael Gutlein told an audience at the annual Reagan National Defense Forum that although the design of the dome remains classified, he's confident that our industry partners have a pretty good insight into what we're doing. Speculation over the technology it will entail, specifically the extent to which it'll be space-based or revolve mainly around more conventional ground-based missile systems, has been rampant for months. In August, the Pentagon issued a gag order to prevent officials from speaking about it publicly. Arizona Senator Mark Kelly is getting an early spin on the carousel of 2028 Democratic presidential hopefuls. Seth MacLachlan reports the former astronaut has started to become a familiar face on the talk show circuit, stirring chatter after squaring off with President Trump over military strikes in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific. Democrats cheered when Kelly condemned Trump's recent threats of criminal charges or a court-martial against him for telling military members to disobey illegal orders. He also got kudos from Democrats for branding Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth as historically unqualified. Kelly is a retired Navy captain and husband of former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, a survivor of gun violence and an attack at a grocery store in her district in 2011. He's quietly traveled through some of the early primary states, perhaps testing the waters for a presidential run. And finally, there's a new focus on evacuees airlifted out of Afghanistan amid the U.S. withdrawal from the country 4 years ago. In the span of a week, Stephen Dinan reports one evacuee was accused of killing a National Guard soldier and wounding another in D.C. A second was charged with threatening a suicide bombing in Texas, and a third was accused of offering material support to a terrorist group. To the evacuees, it's a worrying moment. They complain of unfair scrutiny and an inexcusable crackdown because of a few bad actors. To congressional Republicans and security experts, the incidents are a vindication of warnings delivered during the evacuations in 2021. Find all today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.